Everybody knows it is.
All right,
Nobody wants to
so
talk about it because
welcome to today's episode. We are here with what's your name, sir?
Brandon.
Brandon.
Brandon Leisman.
So we want to interview you about like what you've experienced in Des Moines so far. Like
Everybody doesn't just instantly get a fucking chemical imbalance from the moon and the tides and shit. You know what I mean?
So
something more going on than
born
that.
and raised in Des Moines?
Yes.
what part? Like South Side, East Side, West Side?
North Side, Radio City Trailer Park. Had nothing. Grew up had nothing. Could see through the floors, the dirt, through the trailer, and then moved to Ankeny. Did not fit in.
How was your experience in Ankeny? Did you go to like any schools there? How was that going for you?
I hated it. Wasn't used to seeing, like kids my age, a couple years down the road, driving brand new Cadillacs and shit.
Damn,
I wasn't used to seeing stuff like that, So it's like I came from nothing, didn't have anything.
Did they treat you?
A bunch of people that had, everything.
Did they treat you differently because you didn't have those things?
Yeah, and I was a slow learner. On top of it,
And what gang thing was you?
Gang stalking?
Yeah.
It's just illegal electronic surveillance and harassment, man.
Are you talking about that? Are you talking about that pigeon with the security stuff inside of it that was posted on the internet?
I didn't read or see anything about that.
But what are you talking about, fellas?
Something that is usually initiated by the state first, and it's illegal electronic surveillance harassment for people that don't want to conform to society, or if somebody is in a position of power and dislikes that citizen or that person, they put in that it be set on them, like the neural network monitoring, and it's negative AI. It's mental torture they do on people, for real.
So how do you think? Hold on. How do you think that affected you? Like affects you or any of the citizens?
For me personally, I said some dumb shit because I was coerced by my BD teacher. I was used to getting days of out of school suspension, so I was like, "Hey, what would happen if I said I was gonna blow the school up?" He's like, "Oh, you probably get a 2-week vacation," I'm like, "Okay." 5 minutes later, he moseys on, gets his recorder, and he's like, "Hey, Brandon, what was that you said about 5 minutes ago?" And I brought it back up and didn't realize I was looking at domestic terrorism charges as a teenager. But I went to Mercy Franklin, completed my mental exam, aptitude
Write
test.
it down. Do you like Hitler?
Fuck no. I hope he gets more pineapples in his ass in South Park. Fucking idiot.
So explain your tattoos.
My tattoos? Life, death. You live and you die. Got that when I was younger. Then I realized it ain't really you just live and you die because...
Show the camera.
Yeah, can we get it on the camera, please?
What fucking camera?
Right there.
Some people, have the thought that there's reincarnation, no reincarnation, past lives, souls, whatever. I don't know. For me,
Interesting.
I think it's traumatic, very traumatic events that happen to you can bring up flashbacks of past lives. That's just my opinion.
So,
my experiences.
My next question is, how do you maintain how do you live basically? What do you do on your daily life to keep you in like somewhat good health, or if you're in good health, you feel me? Like how is it?
My situation, it's bombarded with this gang stalking, illegal harassment. That's what my life is consumed by. It gets old. It's stressful. But yeah, I get used to jumping in and out of reality to virtual reality, back to reality in an instant. Otherwise, you'll lose your mind. And you'll be one of those people running around screaming at the dumpsters and trying to fight with tree branches and shit. That's what happens to the best of them.
Right. So, my next question: are you in a gang or have been in a gang?
No.
No.
No, I don't need to inherit anybody's beef or problems or situations. The reason why it's called gang stalking,
Why are they harassing you? Why do you feel like they're taking the initiative to just harass you?
because it pissed them off when I said what I said when I was 13, and I didn't end up doing the rest of my life in prison being civilly committed. Then it pissed off the Terry Branstad at that time.
So
And
do
the
you
school
feel
board got
like
caught red-handed,
do
pushing
you
me from
feel
school
like
and doing illegal
do
shit.
they feel like they're only targeting you because you know more than the rest of us? You know way more than the rest of us.
Absolutely.
So you
Absolutely.
feel like
They feel like I am
you broke in their you feel like you've broken their
I'm a
security and
jeopardize.
punched through their walls. They you know how they think and
They
move.
feel like I'm gonna jeopardize their whole program, which I'm not. Pay me, pay me and fucking kick me out the country. I don't even want to be in this country anymore, really.
What is it like on a typical day in Des Moines? What's your typical day? What do you do?
It depends on what lifestyle you're in. Like the lifestyle I'm in, I party. I mean, it's nothing new. It's obvious, And then the fish game shit. That's a rabbit hole all its own.
What do you want the people of Des Moines to know about you? Like, what's your message to them? How can they be known of your presence in the world?
Don't play the telephone game, and don't believe everything you hear because a lot of people spend their whole life just to plot on somebody to tear their character apart. That's how lousy and pathetic some individuals are in the morning. They'll base their whole life around somebody's situation
Mm-hmm.
just to get their jollies off or get clout. That's what the fuck's clout, right? Jack shit. Ain't nothing you can put on a resume for a job. You know,
If there's one thing you could give to somebody who hasn't reached like adultery yet and is still learning, what's one piece of advice you would give us to help us build ourselves up and keep going through life and not do dumb shit?
adultery isn't cheating on your spouse. Is that what you mean?
Huh?
You said adultery.
No, like what advice would you give us to how can I explain this? Like to keep us from fucking up our lives? What's one piece of advice you would give us to keep us from fucking up our lives for the rest of our lives?
It's gonna piss a lot of people off. Get the fuck out of Iowa.
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, it's gonna piss a lot of people off in Iowa, but yeah, that's the God's
That's
honest truth.
fair.
Last place you think some wicked, unseen, forbidden shit be going on, right here
Hmm.
in the middle of the United States.
What have you seen?
What's the Yeah, what's the craziest shit you've ever seen in Des Moines? Like your top number one.
Programmable weather that was meant for farmers so they don't go through droughts and floods.
That's all right. All
Some
right.
wild shit. Lightning that nobody's ever seen in their lifetime. You know what I mean? It doesn't hit
Have you seen
and
anything?
strike at the same spot, the same. You know what I mean? Like the same distance it travels, the same figure 20 times in a row flashing. That's not normal.
What's like? Have you seen anything like extraterrestrial at all?
Yeah.
What was it in? Like what time frame was it?
Were you high?
I wasn't high. I was sober. I was with my kid's mom. We was going to Christmas Eve at her mother.
Put it on God.
I put it on my little girl, and I put it on your guys' God.
Okay.
All right.
And what you see? My bad for cutting off.
Yeah.
Pulsating plasma vehicle, and it's round. Looks like a ball of plasma, like molten lava, but
Like
it
a
just continues to
orb.
be fluid. Yeah, like an orb, but it's fluid. You can see it.
Where was it
It's
coming
bright.
from? Like
It's coming from outside of our planet, but it was moving the speed of light. You know what I mean?
hmm
And then for some reason, I felt like I needed to get out of the vehicle and try to go up to it so I could leave with it. That didn't happen. It took off like that.
wow. What was this at down in Des Moines?
2nd Avenue.
Second half.
Okay, you know where
Alright.
the biggest American flag is that you've ever seen on Second Avenue by the funeral home?
Mm-hmm.
You know, the huge one?
Not
Yeah.
really. I
Right there.
Alright.
Right exactly where that flagpole is and that flag is. You know, and
don't.
it's
So you
like,
think it was a hologram?
no.
You think it was
no.
real?
Yeah, it's real.
What's your hold on, I got a crazy one. What's your opinion on the Trump attempted assassination? What's your perspective on that? Maybe you got something to say about that.
Right, so I shouldn't even make my opinion about right now. The United States is a messed up place right now, secretly.
You only lived in Des Moines, though, right? I mean, everywhere you said you lived, right?
Yeah. Keep your enemies closer than the people that you're really close to. That's all I can say about the Trump situation. Why was you know what I mean?
Do you
Why
feel
was there so much tension and bullshit and beef about him being the president?
do you
All he
feel
wanted to do was to get shit done.
do you feel it was staged? I mean, cause me personally, I kind of feel like it does because how long has he been in the political scene? And people, you know how many death threats and people try to tell him they're gonna kill him for what he said in the wall between us and Mexico.
This is his own country.
True.
Call me an idiot, call me a dumb fuck. This is his own country, his own people trying to get rid of him. You know, that's what I feel. That's what I perceive when
Fair
my
facts.
communications kick in mentally.
Throughout your life in like Des Moines.
It's shut down. What do you mean martial law hasn't kicked in yet?
Hmm.
Martial law hasn't kicked in yet. The one ain't shut down.
True.
Hopefully it doesn't kick in. But
The other thing I gotta ask before we end off with today's episode, but if you were like the man in charge who would get shit done, what would you change about the United States? Like, what would you change for us?
disclosure, people aren't gonna. The whole world isn't gonna hit mass hysteria and lose their religion, their beliefs. Everybody has to adapt and overcome. You know what I mean? So put it out there so people know, and they're not in the dark. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
The left hand needs to know what the right hand's doing.
Mhm.
And towards the one president deal, majority of shit, president don't even know what's going on. Yeah, I
Right.
feel there needs to be like a team of specialists to even run the country as like a president in whole, not just one. You know, like something described different is just a president.
Right.
Because realistically, one man taking on the whole country and getting shit done. Maybe back when Trump's hairdo fit in with the first founding fathers' hairdos. You know,
For sure. I do got one more question. So you know how when you're 18 you can go buy an AR but you can't go purchase a handgun? How do you feel about that? How do you feel about knowing kids 18 can go into a gun store and buy a fully automatic assault rifle before they can, buy a handgun?
it's probably going to change because there's going to be a type of a federal mental mandate that's going to end up taking place where they're going to do data bank uploads of every citizen in the United States. And then they're going to use AI software to properly vet anybody that wants a firearm. So they're going to know immediately who should not have one and who should.
That makes hella sense, and that would prevent a lot of schools from being, but it wouldn't prevent it, but it would help slow the rate of school shootings and kids dying in the streets. So I feel like
But the only thing is, people are going to say, well, that just makes us a dictatorship country, you know.
hey, if that what makes us survive
How
it,
is that
you feel
giving
me?
us freedom if they're going to upload our whole data bank of every memory or all of our knowledge we've ever had as a human at being that person?
I
But
felt
it's really
that,
to keep
but
everybody safe.
it really is, because then for further generations, they'll know the basics of everything. They'll see what everybody else has been through and kind of if they can evolve to be better than us, and you feel me, make Earth actually livable, you know. So
I think the
shit.
main problem we're gonna have is law enforcement using it, cheating towards cases. You
How
know
do
what I
you
mean?
feel
Towards
about police
fabrication.
officers using their powers on citizens for like unnecessary needs,
They're not all bad, man.
harassment?
They're not all bad, but they're
They're not all bad, but you know, for the few bad ones are out there. Like,
they're easily influenced, just like any other normal citizen. You know, you get a group of them, you get ones that are gung ho and rowdy, you know, and just got out of college mentality. You know, it's probably not a good idea to have them all together, but I really don't know what to say on that subject or that topic because being a law enforcement officer is probably a double-edged sword. You know what I mean? You see people getting hemmed up for things all day long, and then there's people that don't ever get caught. You know what I
another
mean? They get
question:
away
do
with
you
it.
get harassed by teenagers and people when you're out doing your daily tasks?
Oh, I get harassed every day, but damn near anybody and everybody, because DCI likes to leak out personal information about people, and on top of it, they like to fucking make up shit about individuals that don't even make any logical fucking sense one bit.
Right.
And you know, they need a mental evaluation done themselves because the shit they come up with is not borderline predator pedophile shit. It's straight pedophile predator shit. You know what I mean? And it's those individuals come up with the sick shit, and they work for the state. You
How do
know,
you feel about like child predators that are like out there, like the
they
the ones who haven't been caught yet?
they need a type of mental capital punishment torture done to them. So the next generation hears the stories of how gruesome and horrific it was. That the next generation is gonna be like, they're gonna instantly change their thinking. You know what I mean? They're gonna get help. They're not even gonna let their wires get crossed and go that direction.
How would
It's
you
not gonna
feel
cure it,
if
but
they put
it's gonna get rid of most of the sick, twisted ways of individuals.
right? How would you feel if they put a law out stating if you catch a child predator, you can kill them, and there will be no like legal action towards you? Do you think
People get
people would
carried
get
away
carried
with it.
away uh, killing people?
It's too complex, man. Because with the AI that's coming out, it's just basically AI. Anything and everything can be duplicated, mocked, copied, and it's going to get to the point where surveillance is going to be questionable because they're going to be able to
Really
fabricate
edit
shit,
everything.
man.
So
And just like with a jury, you know, if there's a surveillance and it's pixelated, you know what I mean, and it's blocky,
right,
and they say, "Don't that look like so and so?" That instantly puts that thought of that person into the jury's mind right then and there. That's not fair. You
right,
know what I mean? And
right.
those people, they want to be at their normal job or have their day off or be home. They don't want to be there doing that bullshit. So they're just gonna be like, yeah, he looks like a creep. Fuck.
I got another question. Do you own a cellular device of any kind, like a phone, laptop?
I do, but they're not in service, and I get so sick of the shit. Communication devices, because
So how do you keep up
I
on
can't
all
talk.
the AI and all the stuff you're speaking on today? How do you keep up with all that?
How do I put
What?
this without sounding like a fucking quack job?
No, I'm genuinely curious because you're an intelligent man. I can tell that now.
Something
So
that was explained to me is I'm able to channel without narcotics, methamphetamine. I don't, you know what I mean?
channel what?
Channel communications. It
All
happened to
right.
me sober, and I didn't realize it. I didn't understand why it was happening to me. But when you have a sophisticated, educated conversation with the voices that you're hearing,
Right.
it's not schizophrenia. It's not fucking psychosis, man. You know what I mean?
Do you think your voices are leading you towards a a, a safer goal, or are they going to, or you think they're trying to lead you to like a dangerous, like killing
The
goal?
voices I hear are AI software that our country and military and law enforcement are just toying around with right now because they really don't know what the fuck they're doing with it.
Right.
So there's maybe a few individuals that are chosen to interact with and granted leniency towards doing what they want in society. in order to critique and criticize portions and parts of the software and how it interacts to make it
Right.
better and more fluid and not cheese dick and cheesy. You know what I mean?
So do you feel like we are in a simulation and that the law enforcement are keeping us in place?
I don't feel we're in a simulation. I don't.
All right.
I don't.
All right. So we're gonna end off the episode there. It was fantastic talking to you. It was nice knowing about you. Stay blessed, my brother, and have a good day.
You two guys.